Hi everyone, welcome at Dropsolid ETV. Today's webinar is about your Drupal 7 migration. My name is Els, I am part of the marketing team at Dropsolid, and I am very happy to introduce today's speaker and Dropsolid CEO, Dominique de Koolman. While we're still waiting for some guests to arrive, I'll start with a few housekeeping rules. As a participant, you are not able to speak up or unmute your microphones. If you have any questions during the presentation, don't hesitate and just use the chat. The chat is on the right side of your screen. The presentation will take about 30 minutes, so we'll have some time afterwards to answer all of your questions and do a quick Q&A, so feel free to ask away. As some of you have already seen, there is a poll on the right next to the chat. I invite you to answer the poll so that Dominique can still adapt the focus of the webinar to tailor it to your most pressing needs. The question is, when are you planning to upgrade your Drupal 7? We are very curious what all of your plans are, so feel free to fill in the poll. That's it from my side. And now I would love to give the floor to Dominique.
Thank you, Els. So, all right. So welcome everyone. This is about the Drupal 7 migration and how to create a business case around this. So quick background, I've been in the Drupal community for some time now, and in the business community. So this migration, of course, you want to migrate. Everyone wants the new capabilities, but what's often overlooked is how does it make sense financially, and when do you migrate? When do you need those new capabilities? So planning those migrations is very carefully is very important. So we look at what we're going to look at today. So we're going to check the options, Drupal 9, the financial impact, how do you plan this, and what is the Drupal 7 long-term support. So as we all know, the Drupal 7 end of life has been postponed by one extra year. It's now the end of 2022, November. So that's good news because it allows you to have your Drupal 7 with the normal support of the Drupal security team until 11/20/22. But what options do you got now? So obviously you can migrate to Drupal 8 and probably 9 before 2022, or you can stay on Drupal 7 even beyond 2022 with Drupal long-term support. But why would you migrate to Drupal 9 in the first place? Well, I think the biggest reason would be because your business needs those capabilities. The improvements in the content management features can deliver a high ROI, especially if you have a lot of content managers on your websites. Giving them those new tools would definitely make them more efficient. If you're looking at headless capabilities, adding new channels, making your stack more future-proof, of course, that would be a reason. And of course, if you're looking into connecting your marketing stack to all this, to improve conversions, to start using data, to start using personalization, then definitely that would be something we would do with Drupal 9 instead of investing all this in your old Drupal 7 stack. So basically turning Drupal 7 into a digital experience platform would be a good reason to migrate to Drupal 9 and to get more return on experience, and of course security if you don't want to be in the long-term support program. Now Why migrate to a DXP? Well, I'll quickly explain this. In the past, we would only be talking about the Drupal CMS commerce story, but right now customers are generating a lot of data. You can use that data to personalize the experiences, to connect to your marketing automation system, visualize your results. All of this would not be recommended to do on a Drupal 7 site because of the strengths in Drupal 9 being API first and being headless, being able to connect all these different channels. It just wouldn't make sense to make that large investment into a Drupal 7 site. On the other side, there are still reasons why you would stay on Drupal 7. Maybe an obvious and overlooked reason is that the website you might have in Drupal 7 is not planned to being rebuilt, but still needs to be online until 2025. That would be a reason. Another reason that we see a lot of customers find themselves in is the migration timing is not ideal for their business to get there by 2022. So they need more time. Their digital transformation is still ongoing. A lot of work needs to be done. So buying an extra year or two with a long-term support program might be a really good option to do this. And another reason would be the site does what it must do, and there is no need for these new capabilities. Basically, this would not make a migration financially interesting. That would give, if you don't need these new capabilities before the end of 2025, then financially it would make total sense to just keep your Drupal 7 on the long-term support program. Now, if we look at Drupal 9, what's new in Drupal 9 apart from Drupal 8? A lot of people say Drupal 9 is just Drupal 8 minus some deprecated code. I don't think that's entirely true. First of all, it's been proven that the upgrade is super smooth. So the D7 to DE8 problem we're facing now would not be happening again. You would get access to the newer versions of Twig and Symfony in the future because of the evolution of the underlying framework, giving you a higher performance, improved developer experience, etc. And of course, the new editor experience layout builder is something that's in Drupal 9. And I think what it also proves is that we can evolve Drupal very steadily. Every 6 months, new features are being added. And important modules are therefore always upgraded to the latest minor version as well. So although there's not that much new features in a Drupal 9 release, it's still a big deal because it proves how we are innovating faster with Drupal overall. So then we come to the financial impact, which is the core of this presentation. So we'll be looking at the initial investment, your timeline, and the migration costs. And we'll also be looking at what we call the opportunity cost, which would be the cost if you don't migrate and you do something else with that investment money. So let's go into Excel modus quickly, and we'll send you the Excel afterwards. We've prepared an Excel sheet which allows you to calculate the financials of your migration. And why is this important? Well, let's follow along. So let's imagine that we have a Drupal 7 site, and we've invested initially, when we have had it built, we invested 200,000 euros. We had a yearly maintenance budget. So let's imagine we had a site, 200,000 euros. We had a yearly maintenance budget and a new feature budget each year. And we had this site since 2013, which is 7 years. If we calculate this, we would be having, if we want to rebuild the site and we would want to have all the features that's there and we want to migrate all the code, we would be looking at a new project of 340,000 euros. Then, of course, there's some extra cost, the content migration, and the well, I assume that like it's a sizable site with. So apparently, the Excel and the webinar software don't cooperate pretty pretty well. So I just took a screenshot of the Excel and I've put it in the presentation. So please bear with me. So I was talking about having a total write-off of 12 years. If we would be having another 5 years, of course, we would also have to spend the extra maintenance costs, of course. So that would amount to a total cost of 500,000 euros by the end of 2021, which is the total investment, the 7 years of new features, and the 8 years of new maintenance. So I've not been adding new features because, okay, we'll not be investing in new features on an old platform. So then, if we look beyond 2021, we would be looking at, of course, 80K of the 100K maintenance, total maintenance budget. We wouldn't have to maintain the new platform. If we look at the other side, which is very similar until here, we would of course be spending, if we look at the next 4 years, of course we have to maintain the new platform as well. And then if we look at the migration costs, the migration cost would be the 340K, and of course managing the project. So that would be our migration cost. If we plan to write this off in another 8 years, just like we did with this amount, we come to a final budget by the end of 2025. Our organization would have spent, on the left side, would have spent 580K, and on the right side, because this would have been paid to the web development company developing this in the year 2022, we would have spent like 1 million. And if we look at the total cost of ownership that the complete platform would have been in the last 12 years, we would say that it would be around like 50K over all those years, being the investments and the new features over all these years, and of course the yearly recurring maintenance that we have every year. If you look at the other side, we would have a write-off of the initial budget of the 500K in 8 years, and of course the recurring maintenance. So that would be more than it would be in the other case. And of course, we will also been writing off 4 years of the new investment as well. So what does that tell us? As an organization, financially, if you look at the investments, you would see that by 2025, you would have to spend the 1 million. You would have spent the 1 million. So if we divide the 1 million with the 580K by staying on Drupal 7, we would see like, okay, that's 440K, which basically is the new project. Then it's very important to know as an organization, is it worth it to spend 440K to go to the new version of the software if you're just building what you used to have and not using any new capabilities? Is it worth it to do it now, or do I have in my organizations other investments that I can make with that amount and spend it more wisely, let's say in marketing or in sales or in other applications that I have to rebuild, or do I really can I generate 440K with the new budget? Can I win this back in that 4 years by going to the new platform? So this is how you can calculate this, how your new platform is going to impact your yearly budgets, and how you can spend this, and if it makes sense to stay on the long-term support. So about this opportunity cost, of course, this has to be judged against other opportunities in your organization. Now, if you look at how do you plan that migration, so first thing you would do is exactly what we've done now. We would analyze the business case. We would judge, can we win this this budget back by migrating and by exploiting these new capabilities. This is something Dropsolid can help your organization with, figuring this out. Next would be to do an audit on the content and the code. What are you going to migrate? Which features are you going to migrate? That would something you would be doing in your new requirements analysis. The previously calculation example was okay, just porting the new features, but probably you would want to rethink these things. And then of course there's the functional analysis and the estimates of your new project. So finally, what is this Drupal 7 long-term support program? So as said, we want to provide our customers with a choice of staying on Drupal 7 or moving on. So this would also help them to plan more for their migration and to make the move when it makes sense business-wise or financially, not just for the sake of the impending doom of not upgrading of the security update. So that's why Dropsolid is one of 5 companies globally that's offering the long-term support program. Yeah, if you're interested in this, please drop us a note. And to summarize this webinar, so migrate when it makes sense financially, when it makes sense business-wise, when you need these new capabilities, and then plan for it carefully. So yeah, Dropsolid, quickly, we've been an expert since 2013. We provide services and the platform. We're a long-term support partner with a team in Europe, and we've done tons of migrations already from Drupal 7 to 8 and 9, and we're a premium supporting partner. So if you want to know more about this and you want us to help us with your migration, then please let us know. So that was it for the webinar. If anyone would have any questions, yeah, I would definitely would take it. We also have a final poll. Why would you want to migrate or not? Yeah, please let us know.
Monique, I have one question. You've told us about the extended support. What exactly is it that Dropsolid does if we want the extended support for Drupal 7?
Well, basically, we have a member in the security team, and we would be upgrading all your Drupal cores and Drupal modules to the latest version with the security patches that are being released. So like the community right now is providing this security for everyone, but beyond 2022, it would be only the 5 companies that you've seen, and Dropsolid is the only European company who would be doing that. So basically, we would be keeping all your sites secure, all your Drupal 7 sites beyond the community support deadline of 2022.
All right, very clear. I'm checking the chat. I don't see any more questions left from participants. So I think that's it for today.
All right, great. Thanks, everyone. And maybe meet you later in a next webinar. Bye.